Hello guys, and welcome to the very first episode or very first video on JezNet, which is dedicated purely to racing games, as well as a few IRL videos whenever we decide to go out and do things in the real world. Yes, there is a real world out there, I know, scary. But guys, we are racing around in our BMW GT3 around Magny Circuit de Never Magny course, a French circuit that was added recently into iRacing. This track is a very fun track. It does have some insane curbs, so if you do have a car that isn't really that great with curbs, then you do need to watch yourself. Now, please understand, this is my first video. Right here in front of you is the formation lap, but this is one of the very first videos that I've ever done commentary. I do actually suffer with some speech issues, so I have done my best to do a pretty decent voiceover. If it is horrendous, then just let me know and I can try and figure something else out. But all feedback is good feedback down below. That'd be absolutely grand. Also, if you'd like to see this was streamed live over on twitch.tv/JezNet. Do come over and say hi. I will be doing some live streams on Twitch and on YouTube at some point soon, so do keep your eye out. If there's some sort of game or some sort of car or some sort of if there's something you'd want to see on this channel as well, don't forget to leave a comment down below, and don't forget to join the Discord. Just basically type in turn1.gg into your web browser and it'll push you towards our Discord. You guys have a great day and enjoy this race. So here we are coming to the second to last final corner. This is a very difficult track when it does come to a lot of the other cars. For me personally, in the BMW, it can handle the bumps pretty well, but I'm pretty sure when it comes to the Porsche, the Ferraris, the Audis, they are going to be having a hell of a time. So coming through, this is called the Estoril. This is the very long third corner around this track. With this one, it is a bit technical. You can't be full throttle the entire way. You just have to try and time yourself. We're now going down the Gulf, which is basically the prime overtaking spot for this track. Coming into the Adelaide, which is the hairpin just here, having to brake basically at the 100-meter board and then put your full throttle down once you're leaving. So right here, we're stopped behind Marcus in the Porsche. Our goal for this one is to get past everyone. I'm pretty sure I am the fastest car in this field right here. So this is just a goal. We want to try and get past these lads. Coming around the 180, we're now heading towards Imola. So Imola is quite an interesting corner, this one, because it's got a crest. It does mean you don't have a lot of grip, so you've got to brake just at that white line on the left there. Follow it through. You want to have your, basically, you can't take it too tight on your left. You can get in the green section, but you do need to watch yourself. Coming past the Chateau, going all the way down to the complex. Now this one, from my braking point right here, you see a dirt patch on the left there just before the 100-meter board. Braking there, swinging it around in second. That's mainly what you want to do. And right here, I give it a little bit too much oomph, and we spin out. Try and position the car so that we are not getting absolutely rinsed by other players. We actually had an opportunity where that red Ferrari went, but we decided to pull out here. And now we are officially at the back of the pack, just lurking behind the Porsche here. And now this is the point. You can see on my face the frustration, and now we need the determination to get back into at least a solid positive iRating. That is the goal right here. So now we are literally going to be doing pedal to the metal, coming down the Gulf, trying our best to slipstream Mr. Francisco in front of us. Down the back towards the Adelaide, braking at the braking marker, swinging it around in first because you get pretty good rotation. You do actually kind of want to take that in second, realistically. Mr. Francisco getting a bit excited there. On the left hand side here, we want to just do a light tap bit of the brake, following it round past the Nürburgring, round the outside. I'm pretty sure that he let us go at this point. He might be farming some iRating, but there is a Lambo just sitting there on the apex in the corner, doing what you should be doing, which is holding down your brake and waiting for cars to pass. The amount of time that I see people who just let go of their brake and let their car roll along the damn circuit, and it just becomes an absolute hellscape. Coming into the chateau, dropping down the first, kissing the apex, and then flooring it off. We can see in front of us, we now have Misato in a green Lamborghini. He is our target, coming towards the complex, dropping down the first. You do actually want to take this in second, swinging it around. This is where a lot of cars have issues. Those two bumps right there, the BMW can actually handle it pretty decently, but compared to the other cars, especially the Audi, I know that the Audi has a real big issue. Of course, the Ford GT isn't, you know, that great at this either. Bringing it into third, you want to keep your rotation. As soon as you see that green on the right hand side, you want to start flooring it, because you can see the DRS off in the distance. You don't want to touch the outside of where that DRS zone is, because you do actually get an off track. Coming on the Golf right here, Reading chance, so swerving all over the place, braking just at the 125 meter board right there, swinging it round in first again, and now we are slowly catching up to Mr. Misato. Again, sticking towards the left. We want to get on the green right here, brake just a little bit, kiss the curb, follow it through, flooring it the entire way until we reach the end of the curb on the right side, and then swing it around. This car is actually really fun. In my opinion, this is the only car I've actually driven. I played ACC, which, you know, you can drive any car, but this game, it actually has to cost you money to buy other cars. But this car, I will say, handles these bumps like an absolute tramp. No, Trump. Like, it just handles it perfectly. Champ, that's it. Not tramp, champ. It handles it like an absolute champ. And it also means that we can take some of these corners a bit more daringly compared to what other people bring. Braking at the 100 meter board, down to first again. I think I'm getting a bit too eager there. I'm going a bit too tight here as well. But as you can see, it handles the bumps perfectly fine. And I'm pretty sure that we got the fastest lap around the circuit. No, because we got an off track at the start of that last track. So we can now see the green Lambo in our sights in front of us, hopefully using the slipstream down the Golf to try and pull us a bit closer. Nah, I think he's a bit too far away from that. He's 2.4 seconds away, but we are actually got a pretty decent run down the Golf. We can start to see the cars off in the distance that we are actually catching up, braking at the 125 meter board again, swinging it around the apex at Adelaide. And now hopefully we can make a move coming up here. Well, we're actually quite far away. Pouring it through, coming through Nürburgring, kissing the inside again, swinging it around and left. You want to make sure that your right tires don't actually go onto the curb right there, the rumble strip, because you do actually get a off track and as well as a slowdown there. But made it past him. You got to thank the guy. Thank you very much for that, Misato. Very generous of you for letting us pass. Coming up towards Imola again, this one you can have your right tires touch the inside curb there, but you do need to be careful that you don't really overextend that one, because you will get a drive through. Taking that one quite tight past the chalet, going down towards complex. This is where I feel like I've lost a lot of time during this race. My braking point is correct here. I need to stop dropping down to first, taking it wider here, and then we can take it a bit more tighter. As you can see, BMW handled that perfectly. I was watching a few streamers go around this track, were testing, and he was having a big old issue with that, with the Porsche, with the Ferrari, with the Audi. Those cars really can't handle the curbs on this track. So we did have to let go of the gas there slightly, because we were going a bit too fast. But I felt like I could actually have kept the foot down. I do have, one of the issues I have when it comes to racing is the confidence, and you can see on my face right there, there's the determination for catching these two Ferraris. We are now going around again Adelaide, handling it pretty well. We are not accelerating as early as what we should actually be doing. We're going to see you coming through Imola again, kissing the right hand side, follow it around to the left, full throttle normally, don't let off, And then here we are right behind Mr. Dale in the Ferrari, in the Fifi. Coming up now towards Imola. Again, a lot of people aren't really confident with this corner. Once you learn the line, you can gain a lot of time here. Braking at that white line on the left, swinging it to the right, and then to the left. Try to do our best to keep the tires on the rumble strip and not too far onto the green. Following them here. Coming down towards the complex. Again, this corner, I need to stop braking. Oh no, my braking's fine. I'm just questioning myself. I actually did that one correctly for a change, and I'm actually following someone. Hitting both the apex perfectly, swinging around. You can actually sit on the rumble strip the entire way down and not get an off track, which is kind of nutty when it comes to these limitations here. Taking over Dale, and now Mr. Zach is our next target. Now, he did actually overtake Dale, so he is quite a decent driver, so it's going to take a lot of work to actually play catch up with this guy. Coming down the Gulf, swing to the right, very high pitch rumble strip on the right hand side, braking at the 120 board again, swinging it around Adelaide, first gear, flooring it at the correct time there. Almost, and you can see that we are still in the positive when it comes to our track time here. Swinging it to the left, touching the green, just a little dab on the brakes, and now we have gone along the back, braking just as the rumble strip on the right ends, taking it nice wide line and then flooring it. That bump on the right there is an absolute nutter. It throws the car off. Luckily, like I said, the BMW can handle these really well, but for any other car, I'm pretty sure they have a bit of an issue when it comes to that one. I took Imola there perfectly, in my opinion. Coming around the chalet, and now we're going to be going back down the back straight. Zach is very close to us. We are only 0.9. We are very close. Well, okay, now he's pulling away. It's that big old Ferrari turbo sitting in there, pulling him away. Let's see how we handle the complex. Pretty decent. We're going to go with the tactic of actually trying to slipstream him. With this one, you don't actually want to brake. You just want to do a tiny bit of the lift here. Staying in fourth, I find the best. Dropping down to third, an early gear change so you can get the rotation on the car. The moment I see that green on the right-hand side, I do my best to floor it. I do question myself, like I said earlier, but we are coming down the back of the Gulf just here, and I'm pretty sure we are now in the slipstream as we are gaining a Ferrari and a BMW, which is something that you don't normally see. Kissing the apex like an absolute god, flooring it just at the right time. I noticed that a lot of people take this quite wide. I'm not so sure why they do that. Maybe they can't see the apex or they question themselves. I got no idea. Coming through Nürburgring, hit that almost perfectly in my opinion. Braking slightly early on that one. I think I'm kind of following what the guy's doing here in front instead of racing my own line. That'd be one of the biggest tips I'd give you guys. Try do your best to not imitate what the person's doing in front of you. Mainly down to the fact of if they make a mistake, you make a mistake. So the best thing for you to do is just concentrate on your own line, and that is one of the biggest tips that I can give you that I've learned when it comes to racing games. Bear in mind, I have not been racing for that long of a time. This has been a project that I've been upgrading slowly over time, but it's not something that I've been taking serious as of, well, late until recently. Now obviously we've got the channel set up and all that fun stuff. So coming into the complex right here, hitting both of these apexes pretty decently. That second one, I thought it was actually going to be an off track, but it wasn't. So on the right hand side of him now, following it through. A lot of people lift here. They lose a lot of time here. People can get a lot more confident when it does come through the Grand Courbet. And then through Estoril, right behind him now. We're going to floor it down the Gulf. Use the slipstream as much as we can. Because we do turn to the right, it does mean that we do take a shorter line, which is why we are going to be pushing for an overtake right here. Braking at the normal board for the Adelaide, swinging it around the right hand side, forcing him to go wide because we are obviously there on the apex, and then we do a nice clean overtake. Now in front of us is Michael in the Merc, taking it on the right there, left through the Nürburgring, pretty decently handled. swinging it around the left, just like so, through the 180. That's called a 180. No name, just the 180 degrees. That corner back there, turn 9. Now coming into Imola again, a lot of people find this one uncomfortable. I can understand why, especially when you do nutty stuff like that. I took way too much curb on the end then, and it kind of threw me off when it came to the turn 13. Past the chalet, or chateau, should I say? It's not chalet, it's chateau. Coming down towards the complex, breaking up the 100 board. Are we going to stay in second this time? We are. You can see the rotation of the car when you actually stay in second is a lot more better when it comes through the complex. Coming down the back straight right here, we are now in the top 10, and we have the fastest lap time. Look at that, a 1:38.5. That's pretty decently fast. Mr. Michael's taking it slightly wide there. I'm guessing tires are starting to get off. So you can see that we were slightly too far on the left there, and we actually got an off track, which does pretty much suck. But at this point, we're at a 9 times of our incident points. At this point, I don't really care about my safety rating in this race. It's more just racing to actually, you know, finish. So Michael here doing a really weird line on the right there, taking it super wide. I don't know if he was trying to let us pass or not. We're going into the Nürburgring, following him through. We actually do get a slowdown here because we did actually take the Nürburgring slightly too tight, passing Michael in the McLaren, or the Mercedes, passing him through the 180. We do have a slowdown now. This is one of the first slowdowns that we actually have. I'm pretty sure taking it through with slowing the car down significantly here, braking early. I'm going to be taking this very slowly just through the hairpin, just to try and lose as much as I can. As you can see with the throttle, I wasn't 100% through there. I noticed that a lot of people, when they get their penalties, they actually just stop straight away and let the cars go past. 9 times out of 10, when it comes to your cornering, you can actually just get your time back through your cornering, or just letting yourself off a little bit when it comes to some sort of back straight or something along the lines of that one, where you can just, you know, your car will be slightly slow and you can gain back those points, those tenths of a second when it does come to the penalties. Taking the S-roll perfectly right there, as well as the Grand Courbet, which was the back straight, coming through Gulf just like so. My eyes right now is on Andre in a BMW. I always find when it comes to other cars or other people who are driving the same car as myself, I always struggle in catching them and in passing them, because, you know, it's basically the exact same car. They handle the exact same way. When we're passing, you know, McLarens and Lambos and Ferraris, they all got like different tweaks. No, they all got their own character. Screw it, we'll go with that one. They all got their own character, so you can, you know, normally pass them in pretty decent ways. Some of them aren't that powerful coming out of corners, or can handle the bumps well, so the lines are slower. But when it comes to a Beamer versus a Beamer, I do always have an issue trying to actually keep up with them as well as pass them. I mean, you know, I'm a fastest driver on the track right now. As you can see that I got the purple text next to the fastest at the top there. You can see on my face that I am ready and raging, determined to catch this guy up, Mr. Andre Pato. This is my goal, because I'm pretty sure we're currently at -10 I rating. If we do pass him, we might actually get into the positive. Again, setting the fastest lap time, a 1:38.1. Pretty fast, in my opinion, for someone like me. I've only really been racing GT3s for the past week. Last week it was over at a different course, Norwegian course. I basically lived there for quite a significant amount of time, trying to learn the GT3s, trying to learn how I can push this car to the next level, and basically just kind of learning the sim and iRacing. And I will say the GT3s and iRacing, they kind of don't feel like they got the same grip as they do in other games like ACC. They do feel quite slightly. I do know in that track that we was in last week, is Rodos or something like that. It's it's one of the, it's the free one that got added this season, the free track, and it was definitely quite a icy track. It kind of just felt like everything was sliding everywhere. My tires didn't last very long. I was just, yeah, a bit of everywhere, because we do the fix as well as the VRS open as well when it does come to the GT3s. So you can see right there that the penalty kind of just left by itself. I didn't actually have to do anything differently. It's just people seem to sometimes stop when it comes to when they get those penalties. So coming down to complex, we are definitely catching up. Andre right here, Andre the Giant in the BMW, going down the Grand Courbet, the main straight. Coming down the main straight, we are on the white flag lap, which means it's the final lap of the race. Our goal is to catch this BMW coming through Estoril. Just so, pretty decently done. Just kissing the DRS zone, not getting any sort of off track. Doing our best to go down the slipstream. The goal is to pass this guy on this track, or this lap I should say, so that we can then get ourselves a positive iRating. Going in pretty tight when it comes to Adelaide. As you can see, he did go quite wide, so this is now our chance, hopefully through the Nürburgring. We are very close to him behind, kissing the curbs, not going wide. Don't want to get ourselves a slowdown on the final lap. Trying to take it as tight as we can. We're trying to do as much as we can when it comes to pressuring this guy to make a mistake. As you can see, we are literally bumper to bumper down towards Imola right here. I do have to pull back a slight bit just in case that we do actually end up going to the back of him. Sometimes the way that I like to do it is if I swing to the side, then he might question himself, even though I'm doing it so I don't go into the back of him if he decides to brake early. We're going past the chalet just like so, following down the back, doing our best to catch this guy. It's getting closer and closer to the finish line, going past the complex. Hopefully he's going to make some sort of mistake at the serpentine and across the line. We didn't seem to catch him up, but in total that was a pretty decent race. Quite entertaining. I obviously wish that I didn't crash at the very start, then we could actually carried and fought for first, second and third or whatever it was. But that was also quite entertaining for myself, having to catch these people up. It is really fun when you are, you know, slightly faster than the rest of the pack playing catch up. It is really entertaining in my opinion. Guys, please give me some feedback down below when it does come to the voiceover and the commentary. The more that I do this, the more that I'm going to get relaxed when it does come to these commentaries. The very first one I've done, I do actually suffer with some speech issues, being stutters, as well as just like I'm quite dyslexic. So it's something that is very hard for me to do, is talk straight for so long and not have any issues. But guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Any feedback would be definitely appreciated down below. I do live stream almost every single day over on the Sim Racing channel, JezNet, over on Twitch, so do come past and say hi. You guys have a great one, and I'll see you in the next video.